Welcome. This is Stephanie. Well, no, this is Louie, but this is Stephanie growing with the Woodpile. Outdoor with Lulu, or Garden Kitty number one, or Louise. Her name is Louise, but we call her Louie. She has many names. But we're out here doing a September garden tour. I just got back from the ranch, so this will be the garden after not having any sorry, distracted by my pretty kitties. Any my interference or maintenance or tending for the last couple of weeks. We do have Luca Kitty, Garden Kitty number two, coming out to join us. I'm gonna show you all the ugliness of the garden today. Not them, they're cute. It has been a little bit of it's rough. It is rough out here. Now, as we look over towards the compost, towards the back of the house, I put down these wood chips and hope to keep weeds away. And that did not happen. All this crabgrass and everything has come in. It did rain last night, and it'd be great if I could get out here and pull some of these. I have to devise a plan. I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't know if I want to I have a bunch of this weed cloth that I made these beds out of and stick them in there. And maybe, oh, the garden's so rough looking. Um, Pull this mulch back and put the weed barrier down or cardboard. But my plan of keeping the grass at bay did not work at all. Now, this was probably not one of my better decisions. I don't know if you can see real well. I wanted to get out here before it got too hot and muggy, because it's going to get over 100 today. I put down this outdoor carpet almost 2 years ago, but 2 years ago at Christmas when I started the garden. And it has kept the weeds at bay. It's done a great job at that. I also had put cardboard down there, and there was weed barrier, so it's worked out okay. But now we're coming to the point of it not working out. You can see the cardboard there, and it's starting to come up. And so it's a cosmetic thing. Not quite sure my fix to it yet, but enough of that. Let's get on to the garden tour. My son and husband love them to death, but they do not. Big black bumblebee, right? Right, where'd you go? Where are you? I'm in your sun. Can't see it. Why are they so scary? But I can get my son to come out here and water the green stalks, but that's about it. So we're gonna see again the ugly today. Um, as we come down, we'll start here with the strawberry bed. Now we had a big storm and a couple big storms this year, and this tore this shade protection, and it does need to come down. I haven't got around to it. So this is after a storm last night. Coming over here, big basil plant. He folded over, and he was only in here to be with the strawberries for deterrence. Strawberry bed looking really rough. Got some grass back here against the wall that's needing to be pulled. But let's not get distracted, Stephanie. Need to do something with the basil plant. Over here, this is a little bit of the spearmint that has held out through the heat. He was in here around in the pots. Not sure where we were at. Got a phone call from my mom. So coming over here, this is pretty sure it's spearmint that has survived the heat. It was around in the little pots with some lavender. We need to figure out what to do with lavender. I was just so excited I finally got some to grow by seed in the house. So I've decided what is wrong with the pepper plants is big green grasshoppers. And hopefully I can get some of these to bounce back. I read somewhere that you could do flour, you dust them with flour. But I'll probably try to get them fertilized a little bit more before I leave again. I leave in a couple of days. Now this is storm damage here. This I think is a Tabasco plant, Tabasco paper. Let's see if I can get in here. Yes, and I need to support him back up. He is quite a big guy. I guess the grasshoppers don't like him because all of these hatch green chili ones that I was so excited about, yeah, grasshoppers went to town. Down here, basil, and then this kiki melon that grew by itself. And my husband and son didn't pick this guy. There's another guy over there that weren't picked, and now I need to somehow get in there and dispose of them with some gloves so the ants don't get me. These were the sad jalapeno plants. I did end up buying another jalapeno plant because the two existing ones did die, unfortunately. Don't know why. The plumeria tree, he forgets to get watered. He does have new growth. He lost all of his leaves. I'm just hoping he survives. I need to give him to someone else because I can't tend him during the summer to what he needs. These were the Mamma Mia plants. They were quite destroyed, but they are bouncing back, and I do see some peppers on here. These are one of my favorite. They're sweet. I like them. On the other side of the pepper plant, this is, again, another, I planted two Tabasco plants, and he's on the other side. So he's choking out some things in here. So I don't know if I should trim him back. The other big, beautiful basil plant. This is a Thai basil. I think I might take some of him up to the ranch and make some tea. Coming over here, the other side of the very sad looking hatch and poblano plants. Basil. Not sure what was in here. I think there was some mints and some oregano that succumbed to life. This is a lavender plant. I don't know if he's going to bounce back, but he looks infested with something. Thai basil. Weed. And cucumbers. Now these were the silver slicer, and here is a silver slicer right here. Just letting him stay there. Yeah, he's been there way too long. I'm just trying to save his seeds. I had a hard time finding silver slicer seeds. These are the red noodle beans. I was hoping to get a lot of them because you can't make a meal out of one bean. So I planted more. Oh look, here's a cucumber, and that's my cats fighting. I did do some other cucumbers in here. I can't remember what kind. I have picked out a couple of those. Now the green stalks. A couple weeks ago, I did a video on the green stalks, and I had replanted and amended them. And I think I planted too early, and nothing came up. Or if it did, something got them. So I need to decide a plan of what I want to do. If I have time to plant this time around. And yeah, basil plant. These are the lemon basil plant. I think I did make tea of these, and it was quite good. So I need to come in here and trim him back to see if I can keep him going. You are the lemon basil. You can tell the leaves are much smaller. And all I do with him is make tea. Over here, here's the noodle beans that I didn't get to because I'm not here, and then there's just not enough of them. I haven't planted anything in here, just the existing cucumber plants. I kind of want to just take down the shade cloth and just let things go crazy and just be done with it. More beans over here, I think. I mean, I know they're beans, I just don't know what kind without trying to find the tag. This is the Napa Chardonnay. He'd been here a year now. Let's see if he bounces back. Black cherry. Usually they bounce back about this time of year. Basil plant. Other green stock. Garden kitty. And I did plant at the time a new green chili plant, an Armenian Anaheim green chili over here. which I should have planted them over in the hotbed, but there wasn't room. And so this had banana peppers in it, so I kind of thought they kind of went together. Now going down here, besides both Garden Kitty and Garden Kitty, they're going to run away as I go in, is the okra that never produced. I had a hard time getting okra to do its thing this year and make a plant. This basil plant is just a freak of nature. He's been there a year now. I just leave him for the pollinators. I feel like if he is any good, he's going to be bitter, and I have so much basil that I don't need to harvest from him, so I just let him do his thing. This is the okra plant, has no flowers on it. Another okra plant, no flowers. Basil, milkweed. Yeah, Garden Kitty, I'm sorry. So this was my experiment with the seeds I found in the survival garden, and there was corn and green beans in here, and very few stalks of the corn are here. And the green beans did come out, so hopefully I will get a harvest of green beans. And then there was zucchini down here planted that didn't come out. Oh, that almost looks like a dill plant. Right, oh, right there. Right there looks like a dill plant. I did have a dill in a container over there that maybe went to seed. Sorry, distraction. This was a lettuce. I had lettuce here last year, and this one grew in the middle of summer, and I was like, wow, I'm just going to let you grow, and then I will save your seeds because you came up. So over here was the same thing. I did a Three Sisters garden, and you can see a few of the corn stalks that came up that are just flopping over and not liking life. And with the green beans, not all the green beans came up because there was green beans in this back area. Big basil plant, yes, need a harvest. Swiss chard. I did have two plants there. I did save some seeds from one that finally bolted. They take a good year or two to bolt and go to seed. Coming down here besides Garden Kitty, this was the squash that I did plant another spot, zucchini, I'm pretty sure, to see if those seeds were good out of that survival pack, and it did. Grow one there. Over here is, these were the red carmine, I think, that I really liked. And you can see the tape back on this one, on the brown stick, is when I pulled them out of the beds to re-amend these buckets. I wanted to know what they were and keep them in the same ones. So, sweet carmine, yes, that's what it was. So this is one of the leftover sweet carmines here that has survived. This was a pear tomato plant that it lasted almost 2 years. Quite amazing. Did plant a bunch of pole beans in here. As you can see, they're trellising up and attaching themselves to weird areas. Parsley that has now lasted through the winter, the summer, I mean. Weed. These weeds get pokey if you don't pull them. They get little thorns. Coming down here, some basil, some beans that didn't come up in that area. And on this side, this was cucumber plant had grown big. It was my first successful plant. Never got any fruit on it. I have a hard time growing stuff in this area besides basil. So we'll see. The beans have came up, and Garden Kitty playing in the background. That's why I kind of want to take the trellising stuff down, just so they can wrap around. Opal basil. Now these were the habaneros, or the trick-or-treats, and they were little tiny plants, and they decided to grow up and be big guys now. Nothing on them. This one was, I want to say, the Leysa pepper, Leysa. Supposed to be the sweetest pepper. You can see all of this sun damaged in here, but it's producing quite well for time of year. Should hopefully settle down and get more. This was a zinnia that had self-seeded itself that I need to pull out. You can tell the eucalyptus tree, now that it gets regular water, always is getting these side shoots. And that was the issue of putting the garden here, and I think that's why some of them don't get enough sun, is because the tree shades that area. And I did get it trimmed last year. So, yeah. Coming over here, you see the lights have been down. There's just damage from all the storms that I haven't done anything with. Need to get in here and weed. Yeah, garden Katie, what's up? So, another okra plant that didn't really do anything. This is the hibiscus, Roselle hibiscus. And then I had planted a little sugar baby watermelon in there when I didn't think things were going well. So coming down in here, a little jungly. Now these are 3 Roselle hibiscus. I had no idea they got so big. I'm like, wow, they're huge. They're in this Tractor Supply bed that I actually would recommend. I don't know how long term growth will be. And here's another thing that's weird. These are potato plants. Now I did these back in the spring and they grew and then died. And then, yeah, they're back. And as I move things, I see little white things floating around. So I need to find out what I can spray for white flies. I do have the Rustic Gardener sprays and book, so I need to look into that. But I'm not sure if I see any more potatoes. Now, it was potatoes. If I said tomatoes, I was wrong. Those are potato plants that are resprouting. Very weird. All right. Over here, purple. Over here is opal basil. Opal basil in with an eggplant. Now I have 3 eggplants and none of them are producing. And that one looks sickly. I think I need to turn down the water allotment now that we're getting cooled down. And so as we wrap around here, this is an orange bites pepper that has bounced back. Ooh-wee. Yeah, white flies going everywhere on me. And over here is one eggplant that hasn't done anything. I have another eggplant in here that's looking like its leaves are yellow, so I feel like that's a water issue. And that eggplant in there that died. So eggplants can be year-round. Oh, some garden kitty's gonna get in trouble. So see if we can go catch her in the act. This is why I put down the cattle panel at this weird angle, so they can't poo. But I think she's found a resting spot. Hey, what are you doing in there? Get. And that has worked pretty good for the most part, keeping them out of using the beds, is because they can't get in there very good and do their business. But I didn't know she was actually laying in there. Yeah. All right, back over here at the little jungly, you got the eggplant that's not producing. You got a 4 o'clock that has fell over. Now these are chives and with, I'm pretty sure, an opal basil. Now I planted the same green beans in here and nothing came up. So actually I feel like something did come up and I feel like they are all dead. Another opal basil with chives. Now I did plant some cucumbers here and they're looking pretty good. These are from, ooh, those are white flies. I need to get in there. I need to get in there and figure out what I need to spray with. So this I've avoided showing for a while. This is a cuca melon or a mouse melon. Little tiny cucumbers. I like them when they're tiny. There is no flowers on them now. Now I did not plant this guy, but supposedly he keeps a root base down in there and then he decided to come back and live. And now I decided he can claim this spot with whatever else wants to live. All right, coming over here. It's supposed to be all the sweet peppers. Now I bought this guy when I was very sad. This is a lunchbox. This is a bell pepper that's been there 2 years and he's not doing so great. Did plant some beans in here. I guess they were snake beans. And just because I could. Smells super sweet over here like a melon because I found more melons that have rotted. Basil plant, basil plant, basil plant. First of all, they're top heavy, so they're falling over. Now I bought this guy, and he looked like he done died, unfortunately. And I grew. This is supposed to be one of the sweetest peppers. And, ooh, focus. Another pepper plant that died was probably a bell pepper. This is a canary one, not done so well. I don't know what this guy is. I just let him live. He goes to flower occasionally. I'm pretty sure, a fennel. And back over here is trying to survive a shishito pepper. I wanted shishito pepper so bad. And he's living. He's not living. And yeah, this pepper bed has struggled. All right, here's all the melons. These are, I think, Kiki melons. I'd have to pull them up. Yeah, he's done. Yep, dead. And another one. So there's some few new ones here. I want to pull him today. But you have to get out here and find them. And I just know that my men folk aren't going to do that, and that's okay. I will need to evaluate if I want to do melons again next year, because they're never ripe when I come down. So this is melon cluster alley. So I want to pull him today, but hopefully he's not cracked. Oh, with all this rain, he done cracked. And phone in garden. So I don't know if I can take him in and wash him out and see if he is survivable. Another melon in here. Over there, that is a cantaloupe. That's a dead cantaloupe. I want to pull him too. Just so, yeah, let me get in there. And there's a sea of, yeah, he's not any good. He's dripping from the bottom. Holy cow! I don't know what kind of spider you are. I wish I knew how to zoom in on my camera, my phone. You're scary. Well, there is a Kajari melon. Not quite sure where we left off. We were zooming in on Spider Guy right there. Went inside and Googled him. He's a Western orb something. Supposed to be a good guy. I'm just gonna leave him alone. He's a scary guy. Over here, you got more of the Kajari melon. There's a couple there. There was some in here. I wonder if I could find them. Now, this is another of those Roselle hibiscus that I will need to do something productive with. It doesn't have any of the little red flowery things yet that you can make jam out of or tea. I thought I had a couple of melons in here that were floating around. I don't see them right this second, but hopefully I'm still here in time to pick him. They are nice and sweet melons. They do fall off though when they're ripe. So I don't know why I keep planting them, but I do. All right, we're gonna go tour out front real quick and call this a day. Coming down here, so haven't put these bricks away. We painted our indoor doors, inside doors, and it was here. And coming out front, lots of damage to the trees here. This tree is good. We had to take down 2 branches. I need to take down this tree. I am afraid that it's going to starting to lean, and we've cut several branches off. And I mean, if it does fall, that's fine. but I don't want any damage to the existing sidewalks over here. Did a lot of weed pulling today out front. We're looking like the trashy house in the neighborhood, so that was bothering me. We had lots of this little tufts of grass here, and that's a dead one weed right there. Lots of these other little weeds that I finally pulled out. And then these are the sunflowers that are just dying. I just leave them in so the birds can come and chomp at them. You can see half this one has fell off. It has lots of seeds in there. So I could always harvest them, but I've harvested a ton of them lately, so I'm not quite sure I want to harvest more. See, this one's empty. The birds have gotten it all out of there. This big guy. Ooh, the praying mantis right there. But with the flower head moving, I was going to let him do his thing. You're a good guy. You're a good guy. So, in here, I am so happy to see that these zinnias right here, there's several little zinnia plants in there. So I haven't gotten around to this spring or fall of planting when starts. It's been very busy at the ranch, and so it makes me happy that these guys did it themselves, so I can have some zinnia plants. Now he's yellow. That surprises me because he's pink over there. So I don't know where he came from, but you know what? You do you, guy. He's kind of falling over. This is catnip in here. Some of it's still alive. I never did anything with it. Just leaving it. Oop. Got a few new sunflower right here. Then we got this other zinnia there. So hopefully they just keep doing what they're doing. Technically, I'm out of season of planting sunflowers, which I don't understand. It's still warm. So here, let me just take you through these seeds and do this and see if they want to grow themselves. Alright, let's see if they'll do that. But I know people say you can grow them year round, but if you look at the plant guide for the area, you can't. I started trimming down some of this bougainvillea. I love the look of bougainvillea. I hate trimming it. So if you can look at my waist in here, these are all little thorns. I couldn't find my rose gloves today, so I did get poked a couple times. I have composted these in the past, and I just don't have the want to do this right now, to get out my wood chipper, throw it in. I got this chokeweed, I think that's what it's called, growing up in the bougainvillea. I don't know how concerned I should be by that. This bush that's never done so well, it gets water now. I have a drip line in it. Over here, same thing. Got some zinnia plants that have self-seeded themselves, and that's wonderful news. I can have some flowers up front. The rose bush has definitely seen better days, and I don't know if I should get in there and just trim this back. I thought since the afternoon evening sun is this way that this bush would shade it, but I do feel like it is getting overwatered, so that's one thing I need to do before I go to the ranch is tinker with the water, turn it down. Over here are the aloe vera that I transplanted in these buckets, and you can see how much it's settled in here, 3-4 inches. I'd really packed in the bougainvillea in these at the bottom and a bunch of this bush and this chokeweed. When I trimmed this back once and stuffed it at the bottom, it settled. So I do feel like when I get back, I want to water those, pull out the baby pups, maybe even the existing plant, stick it back in there. But I do have the new front door. I just got to find someone to put in the new front door. But I love the blue and that pop against the red. I just need to get my new door in. But this has been an update. Oh, one last thing. This is the plant I call my faith rose plant. It's not it's a pink perfume. It smells really good. I had planted it for my sister after she passed away in November, and have this lovely wind chime that someone sent me, and forever remembered, forever missed. And that is so true. Thank you for learning and growing with Woodpile. For sometimes we plant plants to remember others.